Gaming Talk Show. We talk about things gaming related. We'll let you know the news, tell you our views. Yeah.
Welcome to the new Scotch gaming show. We're gonna open with a cheers, everyone. Everyone grab a glass, even if you have nothing in it. Gonna cheers out to the gaming public. Cheers.
Cheers, Shannon. Where's your dragon cup?
Here it is.
Cheers, mate. I got Coke cup. Alright, this is a new gaming podcast that we're going to be doing every Sunday. I'm just going to introduce ourselves first. My name's Kurt, aka Krazak. I'm an ex World of Warcraft gamer, top 200 US. I pretty much just play a lot of MMOs, been playing games for years, and I'm fucking sick. Gonna pass it on to Shannon Miller now.
Yo, what's up, guys? Shannon Miller, aka Sideswipe. Been playing games for forever. Started out on Call of Duty 2, playing semi-professionally, moved to World of Warcraft. Now play StarCraft, but I'm horrible. But I like games, so here I am.
Alright, sweet. Thanks, Shannon.
No worries, man.
Awesome. Alright, we've got our token American, Chris Mayer. He's a fucking cool guy. Take it away.
Hi. I'm Chris. Started gaming a long time ago on Sega and Atari. Pretty fun. Moved on to World of Warcraft. Well, started with RuneScape, you know, that shitty game, but hey, whatever. We all gotta start somewhere. So, moved on to World of Warcraft, rated top 50 US, top 100 world for a while. Had enough of that. Our GM was kind of a shithead, and you know how things go, so.
Mate, people might be maybe wondering what's going on in your background. He's not murdering a small child. He
That is
actually
my husky puppy right here. He's just crying. I don't know what he wants.
this guy be regular on the stream.
Yeah, he's being kind of weird.
Uh,
He's like, oh, you're finally doing something. Anyway, that's me.
Alright, thanks, mate. And
We'll see.
last night we have Wilsey, real name Chris.
My name's Chris, people call me Wilsey. Game name will be Hammy. Started off on the old Sega Genesis. And I play World of Warcraft right now and I'm bad at leveling.
You're bad at leveling, are you,
I
mate?
sucked at that game.
Bad at
All I do is
PvP
run around
too.
and talking to sound, so that's basically my
Yeah.
history.
Mate, you do 16k DPS. It's not that bad. We all pretty much,
yeah, and
we all pretty much just got
I've
back in
bad
World of
DPS,
Warcraft.
That's why I got kicked from a group earlier today.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Alright.
You were too good, mate.
So that's our introductions, pretty much. We all just got back into World of Warcraft recently. I play other games apart from that, but we're all just getting back into that. Oh, what's going on there? World of Warcraft's happening. Nice.
Yep.
Flying around like a champion on these horrible mounts. Alright, so we're just gonna transition right on up to the games you've been playing for pretty much the past week. So, anyone want to take it away?
Yeah,
yeah.
first.
Alright,
Fine, you go first, Shannon.
alright, Shannon.
I thought your internet was supposed to be better. You should have cut in front of me. Alrighty. So last week, I haven't had a PC, well, like one that would work to play PC games. So I went back to my console. I've been playing Darksiders 2. Recently finished Sleeping Dogs, which was sick. If you guys want to play a good game, play Sleeping Dogs. Sickest story I've played in the game in a long time.
Yeah, what made the story really good for you?
Just really fell in love with the characters. Like, the main character was awesome. The characters that you talk to during the game, really, they have pretty cool backstories and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, no, really enjoyed that game. Playing Darksiders 2, it's pretty cool. I'm finding it kind of repetitive at the moment, though. I'd probably say that Sleeping Dogs' story was better, but the combat and all the mechanics of Darksiders 2 are pretty cool, so
Awesome,
enjoying
man.
that.
Feel free to chime in
Carter.
any questions, you guys, if you have any, during any part of the podcast. Who wants to go next? What else have you guys been playing?
I'll go.
Alright, man.
I'm playing DayZ.
Yes!
Yeah. A bit of DayZ chat right now.
You've been killing some people?
I'm actually the only one that's actually probably been able to get in the game. Shannon, aka Sizewell, hasn't really into the game. It took us about a couple of hours to get in one. We're just, yeah. But it's actually really good and has like so much room for improvement. So
Yeah, what do you think of
That's
the upcoming standalone game that they announced for for it?
I'll just have to wait and see, won't I?
Oh yeah. Well, Chris, I know you want to go first, but you're going third.
Hey, it's all good, man. My dog's being a little annoying anyway. I was playing some Battlefield 3 earlier, but at this point I think we're gonna have a blackout because it seems like DICE is not really supporting the community player base.
Oh really? What's
Yeah,
happening there?
they released a premium like pack for Battlefield 3. It was supposed to give you map packs and guns, and we were promised a lot of drops in August with new weapons and new items. However, all they gave us was some shitty wallpapers and a booklet and everything. So if you currently have Battlefield and you have premium or don't have premium, don't play it for a little bit. We're gonna try and black it out for a while. At this point, it's a double experience weekend, and all the servers are looking pretty empty. So
That sounds
hopefully DICE will listen and start supporting the community a little more.
sounds a lot better than actually just bowing to the fucking demands. Well, I've been playing. Got back into WoW, but obviously haven't really been playing it that much. Just because it's the end of the expansion, I've done pretty much everything anyway, and I'm just waiting for Mists of Pandaria to come out. Apart from that, like Shannon, I played Darksiders 2. I won't get too much into it right now, just because of the fact that probably actually talking about it later on in the show. Played a bit of Amazing Spider-Man on PC. That was actually... It was alright. Combat was a bit boring, yeah, no. Well, storyline was alright. But the combat seemed a little bit weird. I didn't like, alright, funniest thing is, I'm fighting these guys on the ground, they're like shooting at me and stuff. I fucking, I grip back up into with my web thing, back up into the corridors above me, they're like, where'd he go? Where'd Spider-Man go, guys? Let's not check above me on the roof, like 5 centimeters away from me. Like, literally, I'm about, like, 5 centimeters away, right? Right, you saw me play, Chris?
Yeah, when all I saw was really you just swinging through the city. It was exciting.
Dude,
Oh,
swing through the city, though. Pretty cool idea.
It looks amazing. It's really boring.
Also, been playing The Secret World with my friend Liam the Tram. It's been pretty fun. Been getting into elite modes. That's been really fun, I think. If you guys haven't played Secret World, you guys should check it out. Unfortunately, they laid off half their staff this week. Just I think the sub numbers were a bit subpar. That's actually probably one thing I didn't put in our show notes that I wanted to talk about. What do you think about a lot of companies been doing it recently, like with the Star Wars we saw when it came out, they didn't get the sub numbers they wanted. They cut about half their staff off. Funcom just cut half their staff for the game. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
I guess you sort of can lean into the next topic of the sub model. Do you think it's dying?
Well, I mean,
from the outset, oh, there we go again. Yeah, let's both stop and let Wilson go. Obviously, he doesn't
all right, yeah.
have anything
No,
important
that's a
to
good
say,
idea.
so
We'll see.
Just roll the ball.
there we go.
I mean, he's a hipster and all. He should
guys
be in
roll the
on,
ball.
more things first anyway, right?
I want the pro to talk about it. Take it away, we'll see.
The MMO model
Yeah,
is alive.
is it?
Yes, I don't like paying for games for one. If you wanna just start from there.
So you think the subscription model is dying? Do you think?
Yeah, sort of. With the Star Wars going free to play, it's a pretty big game. And,
Yeah, I think actually you're right, mate. I think the current.
That's gonna start the ball off. And just players wanting to have free to play games, and that's got a great storyline. What can't every other game be like this? But you got World of Warcraft, is raping the MMO sort of scene.
Yeah, I think like the current generation of subscription models, like Star Wars. I think Star Wars and Secret World will probably be two of the last big sub models we see. Obviously, aside from World of Warcraft, which has lost a bit of numbers, but I generally think that's just because they haven't put any fucking content in a year, which is probably bad for them. But I personally really like the sub model. I tell everyone I meet that I don't like free to plays that much. I'm pretty anti free to play, guys.
Well, I mean, Kurt, as soon as Star Wars went free to play, we all know that you quit that. You're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah,
I'm not in that game anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As soon as Star Wars went, I'm like, nah, fuck Star Wars, I'm gone. But I actually do think the sub model is gonna die.
Well, the problem is free-to-play model gives you a lot of options nowadays. Like free-to-play model a few years ago was crap. Like there was a few free games that you play. Like RuneScape was probably one of the only ones that was really successful and stayed out.
Yeah,
But
except the game was
nowadays,
shit
like
unless you remember.
yeah, well, yeah, but nowadays though, free-to-play actually gives you really good content at the beginning. So you know, League of Legends is like the best example. You know, you download the game, you can play it as much as you want.
And you get addicted on that, and then you start funding them like straight away.
Yeah, well, that's the
You
point.
know.
That's how free to play works. You know, you are supposed to be addicted so you can, so they can get the revenue back.
They
But
do make they
I
need the
think
money.
that's the point. I think that's the point though. Like
They had a great
free
idea.
to play gives you so many options nowadays that's why everyone's leaning away from the paid because, you know, WoW probably one of the only exceptions that's still making money off that, and well, it probably is, definitely is. So.
That's true.
Like one of the big fears I have with free-to-play games, I think actually a lot of companies aren't doing the whole buy-to-play thing anymore because they realize that customer bases don't really like buy-to-play. Sorry, buy-to-wins. Really, buy-to-wins is fucking horrible. But my fear is if, say, like a company, their whole amount of money comes from customers buying products, like I don't know, a hat or some other sort of thing. I would think that developers would spend a lot more time on that sort of thing and pushing all that stuff instead of developing like more content for people. That's the one big fear I have. But there's the other side of it where people are saying, well, since people aren't like locked, since the developers don't have people locked into a sub and they don't have guaranteed money, that they have to continually make the game exciting to keep their player base interested and buying things.
Yeah.
And I guess that sort of
I
leads...
mean,
Yeah, you, Chris.
there's quite a few games out there like that. I mean, like Maple Story and games like that. Not very popular. Well, some of them are really popular actually. There's Maple Story, League,
RuneScape.
RuneScape. All those games they're not necessarily MMOs, but they're still like a free-to-play game where you buy a lot of items in the game. And I think that is generally not a very good system because, you know, it promotes spending a lot of money to be good in the game. Whereas a game that has a subscription, you're subscribing to play the game, and then you're at an equal playing field with everyone else. Not the rich kid that has his parents' credit card and can spend, you know, $300 buying whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Constantly thinking like, oh, that's so much cooler than me with that fucking.
That's why. That's why.
Shit, I need to buy that.
Yeah, that's why I think buy to win is probably going to die as well. I think it's just going to be mainly buying aesthetic stuff, which. Yeah. But that sort of like brings me on to the which is the other model we've actually seen. We're starting to see more recently with Guild Wars 2, the buy to play, where you buy the game like $60 box price, but you don't have a sub model, and I guess they make their money. They have a store, and they make their money from like new expansions that come out. I actually think that model is going to be quite big in the future.
It will be big, but the thing is, they need the backing to support the game which they wanted to bring out. Like Guild Wars 2 works because Guild Wars 1 was fairly successful, like people still play it today. If it was a new game that people were just like wanting you to buy, and then they were supposed to back it up with expansions and content and all that sort of stuff for purchase game without having a subscription, it wouldn't work. I think Guild Wars 2 works because, well, we'll have to see if it works. It hasn't come out yet. It doesn't come out for a few more days, but
technically hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, well, technically it hasn't. It's on the 3-day head start. Like anyone that pre-ordered the game gets to play it. Like, but the cool thing about it is they've bought the game. They have that forever now. So if they decide that they want to play it for like a month or a couple of months at a time, they can always come back, which is pretty cool. Like one of the things about World of Warcraft, coming back to World of Warcraft, is like if you decide that you don't want to play anymore, you have to cancel your subscription, you have to resubscribe if you want to come back, you have to pay that month again.
Or
you don't have to do that.
Or you get locked in to a year sub.
Yeah, that's very annual pass.
You get tricked. They give you Diablo 3, you get tricked.
Like here, take that
Diablo
through.
3.
Yeah, exactly. Which leads me on
Speaking
in
of
an
which.
awesome segue to
That's what I do,
Diablo
mate.
3
That's what I do.
released their new patch 1.4 was it? I think
1.04.
1.04. You're right, Shannon.
I'm looking forward to playing it all.
You're not looking forward to it? They added in a bunch of stuff, 100 Paragon levels on top of obviously of what you've got already. So that's when you hit level 60, you start gaining Paragon levels, which increase your magic find a certain amount every level. I guess once you hit level 100, you'll be capped, and you'll have like a maximum amount of magic finds. You'll also gain increases to like your primary stats, so you'll just gradually become more and more powerful. Obviously, making Inferno a fucking joke. What else did they add? They
Which
changed like legendaries as well,
nerfed it.
didn't they? They changed legendaries as well.
Yeah, they made
Legendaries were buffed.
better.
Yep.
Yeah,
Only the new ones that you find, the ones that you had in your bags prior, will not be better.
Which is
They were
lame,
buffed in the first place.
by the way.
Yellows are better than legendaries.
like I don't count. Like um, I loved Diablo when it came out. I put in like 180 hours. I thought it was an amazing game. It was super fun to play with all my friends, but I just don't get why they're trying to make it into some huge like endgame game with
Well,
like I just think I don't get it.
Reason Blizzard, I think, was anticipating making a lot of money off the real-life auction house with just small sales and the cut that they get.
Mm.
So I think that might have something to do with the reason that they nerfed so much of the content and buffed so many classes to make it easier to play through.
Mm.
You know, it seems like Activision as a whole, which owns Blizzard, they own Blizzard, right?
Yeah,
Not
they
wrong.
do.
Oh no, they're in
Yeah.
Oh, sort of, yeah.
They're a
basically the same-
partnership,
no,
okay.
Well, they've got
Well,
the
I'm
same
sorry then.
shared general manager, basically.
Alright, well, it seems like they've been leaning more and more towards profit over quality in games. You know, a lot of games when they first came out, especially from that producer, were a lot more quality oriented, I want to say. I mean, probably opening a whole can of worms with a lot of people here, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't like the real life auction house. I thought it was really a stupid idea. Like, I get why they did it, because in
I thought
Diablo,
it was huge and
Yeah.
awesome, actually.
no,
It
like,
was
wait,
yeah.
well, the problem with it, yeah, is,
I
It
made some
turned
good
Diablo
cash.
into such an auction
Yeah.
house oriented game, whereas you
Yeah.
know, you could go out in the world and find the gear that's best for you. However, how much the auction house was like required kind of made the game a bit
Thing is, it doesn't really
Boring.
matter. It's not online.
At the
Yeah,
end.
Like it's not online. It's like you only get a small party. You know, you're not trying to show off to the big MMO world.
yeah.
Yeah, but that made
Yeah.
the adventure epic. Like, you go out with your friends, you know, to find the new gear. That's like,
Yeah,
that was like that epic feeling of playing with your friends. Let's go
that's
see
cool
what we
because
can get
that's
to
okay
drop
because
off
you've
this
all got
mob, and
different classes. You all got
Exactly.
different classes. So,
Yeah,
so that made it great.
but like,
How-
if they introduced PvP, they would like earlier would have been.
Well, that's
so
what they were
much better.
supposed to do ages ago. Like, that's what everyone is waiting for. But
yeah.
apparently, from what I heard anyway with
I was-
PvP, is
yeah.
they're not going to balance it regardless. So it was just going to be a tacked-on thing. They weren't even going to balance the classes for it because they reckon it'd be too hard. So
Yeah.
my opinion on it, like, I like that they're trying to bring people back, obviously because they want to keep making money off their auction house. It wouldn't have been such a big deal for them if it was just one of the buy-to-play games. And it was going to be an online service included as well. But because they want to back up the auction house, like Chris said, they want to make sure people are coming back. They wanted to give something more back. If you read the forums, which I read the Diablo forums quite often,
You do?
everyone's... Oh, I do actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
I do
I-
as well.
I never read them.
Everyone-
Everyone,
entertaining.
every single post is, oh wow, Diablo 3 is coming out of beta, thank God. And I'm pretty sure that's how everyone felt. Like, the start of the game was awesome. Like, you know, you get to level 60, you get crushed by content, which was, it was fun to a point, and then you start looking at the auction house, and you know, then that's when you start
Yeah.
wanting to spend money. That's when you want to start, like, you know, buying gold. That was
Mm.
another thing. You can buy gold from the auction house as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so
Starting off was amazing. Like I was.
yeah,
actually
I
was-
like
the
what they're
beta.
trying to do.
Man, the beta was
The
fucking
beta was
awesome.
awesome. man.
Like, I can't even tell you how many times I played through the beta.
Well,
Oh, you
I
mean
mean,
the
I
original
wasn't-
beta?
it's very
It wasn't
interesting.
because I was in Texas, like, visiting
Yeah.
my girlfriend and I had nothing else to do. But
it's,
fucking-
it's very interesting, like what they're doing with the game. Like you find like most other games, they'll single player games sort of, they'll release and they may like put a few patches in, but they won't like severely change the game that much. It seems really weird. Like Diablo is a single player game. Obviously, play with your friends. It's online, but they're sort of like treating it like a half MMO where they're changing stuff all the time, balancing.
yeah, they're constantly developing the
What
game.
I'm wondering is whether eventually as they continue developing, maybe they turn it into an MMO eventually. I don't know. Sort
Apparently
of
it was to be an MMO very early off in development. I've
It
read
was?
some stuff. Yeah, it was supposed to be an MMO, and they actually were planned to have like places like New Tristram to be a hub world where you would join, and it'd be like a graphical chat room. They were saying, But they said that by doing that and then going off with your friends and just doing the content, steered it away from the MMO anyway, so they decided to just cut it out and just add a chat room. Um, and obviously that's backed up by the real money auction house and stuff like that, because the original Diablo didn't even have a gold auction house. Everything was done on forums. You would go into a forum, you'd join it, and you'd trade with Golden Game. People would join your game. You'd trade with friends. That's the only way you could do it. They never had an
Yeah.
original auction house. So they were really to that.
They knew.
Decided on sort of like a free-to-play game, because that's what it turned out being anyway with the auction house. And yeah, like I said, I admire what they're trying to do now with the added content.
Yeah.
I think it might be too late though.
Well,
If the game came out and they were like, get to level 60, now you've got 100 levels of Paragon to get all this extra stuff, people would have actually wanted to keep going. But now that everyone's gone to 60, have stopped playing, and a lot of people actually finished the game regardless and got the best gear,
No.
what's the point in coming back anymore?
Right.
Went
I
back
mean,
to WoW.
I think if they're going to continue to add these class changes, they're going to have to eventually add some more content to the game.
I think they will. Like, I think they'll add more content in an expansion. That's probably what they'll end up doing.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to charge for it, but
Oh yeah, exactly.
that is one thing that Blizzard does do, is they tend to sometimes rush things to line up the release with other games. Well, actually every game developer does that because it's such a competitive industry at this point, whereas it used to not be as competitive an industry.
Yeah,
So I
if you
think
had
that
the
really
best
has an
game,
effect on the quality as well.
yeah, if you had the best game, it was the best game. Like
Yeah,
Diablo
and you
2
didn't
was
need
like
to-
the one, the only of that time. You know, everyone was playing Diablo 2 because it was the only thing that was like Diablo 2. It was one of the first games that ever really popularized that whole continuous looting mechanic. And nowadays, when there's games like, you know, Torchlight 2 coming out, which is
Torchlight
only
2!
$10, yeah, I know, it's very soon. That's right, we've got that game as well. But, but games like that, you know, it's hard. But
I think one of the big mistakes is Diablo 2 Endgame. They saw people buying and selling gear outside the game, and they're like, "Hang on, let's just put this inside the game." But
Yeah.
what happens is there's so much shit
It
gear in
takes
this
away from the
game.
community as well.
Yeah, there's so much shit gear in the game, right? So people just don't buy the shit gear. Like, you'll have the top gear people that really care about the game, that are getting the best gear in the game, and they're selling to people with money that really care about the game. And those people are making money, those people are probably putting in money. Whereas all this other shit gear, all this shit gear is just in the middle, and people aren't making money, and they're forced, and the whole game is based around the auction house, which is sort of ruined it for me. That's probably the
Yeah.
that's probably the end.
His question about the
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
game,
take questions
The
later
console.
on in the show. So
Okay.
just we'll
You
do
told
this.
them earlier that they could just ask questions
Yeah,
and we'd answer
you
them.
did
What were
say
you
that.
thinking?
Yeah.
What's that?
Chris, read out the question, Chris. We'll answer.
Let us
Ah,
know what are our views on the new Ouya system. I'm not sure quite how to pronounce
Oh.
that.
Ouya,
It's
it's
the
Ouya.
Android-based system that they're developing,
what-
right?
yeah,
Kind
what
of
is Ouya?
Android-based, but I mean like
The Ouya.
not Android-based, so that people can develop games for it, similar to an
Alright,
Android, right?
I can give a
I don't
backstory
fucking
on
know.
it for the viewers, I think.
I read something
'Cause-
on it, and I'm not sure.
Alright, so basically the Ouya, it's pronounced Ouya, like Ouya.
Okay.
Ooh yeah! It's an Android-based console. Runs on the Tegra 3 chip, which is in most brand new
What is
like Samsung
Android-based?
tablets and all that sort of stuff. It's a open source hackable console, home gaming console that's coming out next year. I think March. It's $99 US, which is basically the same everywhere because well, at least in Australia, our dollar's very close. So it's $99. You can pre-order it from their website, and basically, you take the console home, you plug it into your TV or whatever screen you have, LCD. It's got a HDMI port on the back, and you get to play Android powered games. So, for instance, like the whole library of mobile gaming is already available. On the controller itself, it's got like a touchpad, similar to like a laptop touchpad. So you'll be able to do the touch controls. But it's already got support for like Twitch TV. It made like something like I think $8.6 million on Kickstarter just from donations when they were only wanting to make like 300,000. It's got a super amount of potential. Hopefully they're able to make the demand because I think they got over 60 or 70,000 pre-orders for them within 24 days. But yeah, so that's basically what it is. I think it's awesome.
I'm gonna give it.
I think, yeah, I'm definitely getting
Thumbs
it.
up.
I think that it could, it can be bad and very good for gaming. Bad as in for retail sector. Like I work at EB Games in Australia, um, and I know for a fact that like a lot of people nowadays buy online. It's a lot cheaper, um, whereas this is going to be supporting purely online. So it could hurt the gaming industry as well as helping it, because it's going to be very easy for people to get into gaming and very easy for developers to make games, but it's going to be harder for retail to sell them because obviously there won't be physical games anymore for it. So I think it's awesome though, regardless. And yeah, like I said, I'm
Alright.
definitely getting one.
Awesome. I think that's really good channel overview. I'm just probably just leave it there for that. Just don't want to take up too much time.
Yep.
So for the questions, I meant like ask them, and we're gonna have a section later on the show where we'll talk about questions in the future.
Yeah, just write down your question, guys. We'll answer them at the end.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't make that clearer before. Alright.
Well,
I apologize. Alright. So for our next section, we're just going to talk about recently this week. Dark Souls got ported to the PC. They did a shit job.
Well, I don't know
He
anything
did-
about Dark Souls.
that's
You guys can
alright.
Take that away.
They did a shit job. All right. So basically, they had a fixed resolution for the game, which was horrible, and they said the whole time that they didn't know anything about PC. Surely they could have hired someone to do a better job. Now I know there's a patch that fixed it, by a user patch that fixed it sort of, but
It sort of does like an auto upscaling,
yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah, it does auto
It takes
upscaling.
whatever textures you have and makes them higher resolution.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
all in all, I think I don't. What do you think about like games? Obviously, this is one example of games that are being ported that just aren't doing good enough jobs.
For PC.
Yeah, for
specifically,
PC specifically.
I suppose I'll go again. I think it's crap.
Yeah.
A lot more companies nowadays are leaning towards PC again because PC's finally at the point where it's very much ahead of console gaming. A couple of years ago, consoles were massive. You know, everyone played Call of Duty on console. The steering away from making good Call of Duty games for PC was completely gone. Like no one plays Call of Duty on PC anymore. It's all
well, Shannon,
yeah.
a lot of that came from consoles were a lot less expensive to build than a high
Oh,
quality gaming
totally,
PC.
yeah, man. Of
so
course.
basically, PC parts became a lot more accessible to a lot of people because you could build
Yeah.
a system that would play a game like Battlefield 3 on Ultra for around $500.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
no,
it became a lot
definitely.
less expensive for people to build their computers,
Yeah.
which I think is why PC gaming kind of started to take off a little more and started to progress more. Because before, I mean, there was a lot of PC gamers, but they were still just much more hardcore than the console gamers. It's
But-
just a lot easier to get into console
So
gaming,
do you think it's
Yeah.
acceptable for gaming companies to now be like at this stage of PCs where PC is at to be putting out half-assed ports from the consoles? Like, and I know the whole time the company that did it was saying, look, we don't know that much about porting to PC. I know you guys want it, so we'll do it anyway. But do you guys still think it's acceptable to put out a product that is actually it's not optimized for PC at all?
I don't think so at all.
Well-
I mean, to be ideal, the amount of capability
They wouldn't
and
make a game
possibility,
that's completely broken for
Right.
PC.
they have a lot
Yeah.
more possibility with PC for a much better graphics,
Add-ons,
much better
DLCs.
add-on mods, all kinds of things. So
Yeah.
it's almost unacceptable. I think it's completely unacceptable for a company to do that. If they really wanted to do it right, they would have just taken the time to research it. The company that produced that game is fairly large, and they needed to support their game a little more and put a little more time into
Yep.
it if they were going to release it for PC.
Especially since, alright, so everyone knows about the resolution thing, especially since a user within like a day of it coming out
Yeah.
fixed the problem for them. I mean, how hard
Yeah,
could
very
it
true.
really have been?
I mean, the main thing is they could have waited to release the PC port until they had it fully, working, or they could have baited it. Either or. They could have tested it more and let the players test it before they released it as a full.
Yeah. It's a touchy subject with Dark Souls though because Dark Souls was originally a console game that was never supposed to be intended for PC.
No, you're right.
It got major backing from the community. Everyone wanted it on PC, so they're like, okay, look, we'll bring it to PC. They weren't sure of how it was going to turn out, and they said it, which I think at least by saying it lessened it. I don't think anyone's expecting it to be as bad as what it was, but I'm still against the whole company's not really doing a good job of PC games anyway because you know, I think what Chris was saying before with you know, consoles being so cheap, that's why everyone moved to producing for consoles. Like every game was getting made on console. There was very few that were just for PC. So it was a lot cheaper for those companies to just port them over. And I can see from a business standpoint, yeah, it makes sense. You know, they make a lot more money. But for PC gamers, it's a huge dick.
Yeah.
That
You
is
know
true.
what I mean?
Uh,
So
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on from so one company doing something horrible, gonna move on to Ubisoft. I personally don't like Ubisoft's company, so this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a
Do you want to
fun
read?
section.
What's the
Alright, so what we're gonna do is
Ubi
Ubisoft commented on piracy. Basically,
makes as much money
what are you saying,
from
Chris?
free-to-play games as Red Games due to 95% PC piracy rate.
Yeah, so basically they talk about that. They're talking about how 96%, 96, 95% of their games get pirated. Look, I'm, I don't know if that how like
Assassin's Creed.
if I don't know if that statistic is.
maybe they shouldn't make crap games. I don't know.
Look, the problem is like whether this quote is accurate, because a lot of people actually do buy their game and then go, oh shit, it's got horrible DRM. I'll just go download the crack and play it without the horrible DRM.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Ubisoft is a horrible company, with DRM wise as well and customer service wise. This leads on to a talk in piracy in general. Okay.
Customer service is fucking terrible.
Yeah. This leads on. Yeah.
Ubisoft.
This leads onto like just a talk on piracy in general. Look, there are pirates out there. They're going to pirate your games, Ubisoft. Your games are going to be pirated.
It's what people do. It's what pirates
What I
do.
don't understand, that's the whole thing. I don't understand why companies are so insistent on these hard DRMs. When the game is going to be pirated, no matter how hard your DRM is, the pirates are going to crack your game. If you can, it's going to happen. So
It's gonna happen, it's bound to happen.
all DRM does is make the user experience for the people that actually buy your games a lot worse, which leads to people hating your company. It just does. For me, it doesn't make sense. Like, I would never pirate a game, but
Me neither.
no. But actually, a lot of people pirate.
No proof of this.
A lot of people pirate games, actually to demo games nowadays. Because I've been noticing a lot lately is that games won't have demos out. They'll just be like, look, play our game, buy it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like just buying a game for like 60, 100 bucks, whatever it is, and then they'll be like, oh shit, this game's crap. I just wasted my money. A lot of people actually pirate a game, play it for a while, and go. If they like the game, they're like, I'm just going to buy it now. I know a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
What do you guys takes on DRM, Ubisoft's
I know that-
comments, and like piracy in general?
Well,
No,
let me
Wilson
start this
hates it.
off with
Well,
the best side to
Hate piracy.
pirate anything is pretty much shut down lately. It's kind of sad. Humanoid was taken out by the Ukraine government.
Yeah.
That was a
Damn the
little depressing.
Ukrainians.
It was all just to impress the United States government as well, because they had an ambassador, I think it was, come in to visit the U.S. and they did it the day before he was supposed to arrive. But yeah. Anyway. back on topic, sorry.
Wilsey hasn't been talking much lately. He's been a bit silent. So we're gonna let our leading expert in DRM and piracy take it away.
Well, I bought was it Assassin's Creed off Shannon, and like, you know, before you play Assassin's Creed, you have to log in online through Ubisoft. to
Ubi
actually
Play.
the game.
Ugh.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got it.
Yeah. Okay. You have to log in to play Assassin's Creed, and like you didn't have that for Assassin's Creed 1, you know, back in the day. But
how-
like I think they put that on the login to stop piracy.
How'd that make your experience?
Oh,
Like,
terrible, mate. Because like, I had another version of Assassin's Creed on as well, and I had to actually bring the game back to Shannon because it didn't work.
yeah. Well, the problem is,
Yeah.
like, you try and play a single player game. Like, it's not like
Just had
Diablo
more
where it has an auction house,
complication,
really.
You know.
And like a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a purely a game.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have, like, if the internet connection goes down, they can't play the game. There's a lot of people just download the crack for it, and there's like, screw you, Ubisoft, I'll just play the game without your permission with this
Yeah.
crack.
And then the proper Ubisoft one doesn't work anymore once you get the crack. Because it's stupid.
Yeah. So,
It hates cracks.
so what do you think about piracy in general, though? What do you think about like where it's like? Do you think it's as big a problem as Ubisoft is claiming, like 96 in PC, obviously? Obviously, they don't mention consoles, which console actually has quite a big piracy problem as well. Do you think piracy is ruining the gaming industry?
Well, of
No,
course,
it's not
like,
ruining
you
it at
know,
all.
it's like same with the music industry. People download music, artists don't want to make music anymore, you know, because they're not getting any money from it. It's the
Well,
same as PC games, you
The
know.
whole thing is, if piracy, companies have to find a way. If the people are pirating the game so much, it's obviously that they don't want to pay for them. Companies need to find a way to
Yeah, well,
make money from these people. And obviously, I don't think it's a huge problem because a lot of people that pirate games
well, you can't.
aren't
you
gonna
can't-
fucking buy the
you
game
can't
in the
crack
first place.
World of Warcraft and get the true online experience, but you can do private servers, you know.
Exactly. Like
And
I don't think people like look, all these people that pirate games, they're not gonna buy like most of them are not gonna buy the games. Like all these companies goes, look, we lost 400 million sales. You can't count every single pirated version or copy as a sale. You can count
Yeah.
maybe like 20% of them, maybe.
like, who's got that friend that always like, you know, a new game comes out, they're like, oh, I'm gonna download that. Like, they don't even say they're gonna buy it anymore. They say I'm gonna
Yeah.
download that.
But
I think we all have
but
that friend.
would that person actually buy the game? Would the person if pirating wasn't available, do you think that person would buy the game?
Well,
The truth is, I think a lot of
you get-
gamers that you know, support certain games, like let's take Skyrim for instance. You know, I would buy that
Yeah.
game even if I pirated it and played it first. I would buy it in the end to support that, you know, company because they
Yeah.
produced a fantastic game.
I buy a
And
lot
I
of
think-
MMOs.
I think a lot
Yeah.
of people maybe share the same perspective. I could be very wrong here, but I mean, if a company's worth supporting, I think that people would definitely put money in to just support it because fantastic games like Skyrim, I mean, they made a good game. You want them to continue to making great, you know, continue to make great games. I'm drinking a little bit, but anyway.
Yeah, nah.
You know, we all want these companies to continue to make fantastic games. So why not support that company, you know, and
But-
help them to get there? Sure, they make a lot of money off it, but you know, that's
But
just
it
kind of
comes
the way the
down to,
industry
like,
is.
Then it comes down to like, you know, why do people download like Ubisoft games prior to that when like Assassin's Creed I thought was
Because they
amazing
hate the
game.
company.
Yeah, it's because they don't
Well, I
like
did-
service that the company gives.
Yeah,
They don't like the DRM they give. They don't like.
I've never had a problem with Ubisoft till like the Assassin's Creed,
Yeah.
the whole thing. But
Yeah.
Ubisoft
I
is
just
not
have, like-
actually a liked company.
to
Alright,
this day I still haven't played Revelations. by the
so
way.
we could talk about this
One
by
day.
piracy for a long time, and pretty much like the closing comments on piracy is it's gonna happen, but I don't think I don't think DRM is
I
a
just
good
want to say one
response.
thing before we close it off.
Sure.
A really good point that one company on it was CD Projekt Red, the guys that did Witcher.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
had DRM on their game when it first came out. You had to log into their, I think it was GOG, games on something or other. GOG.com, they had their own like DRM, kind of like Steam, where you log onto it, you know, do all that sort of stuff, make an account, whatever. And they found that their game got pirated, I think something like 3 million times, 4 million times in like the first few months. So what they did was move the DRM and started selling to the game without DRM. And they found that they were selling more than when the game first came out because people didn't actually like the DRM, and they became way more successful with their game than previously when they had the DRM. So that's not really anything to like to have a topic on or talk about it, but it's just sort of like a
It's a great comment, mate.
something to think of. Yeah, thanks, mate.
It's a great comment. So from that pretty
Comment, mate.
hard-hitting conversation about piracy and stuff, we're just gonna move on to something fun.
Don't pirate games.
We're just gonna move on to something fun about
Not
the.
if it's Ubisoft.
Don't
I'm just
say
kidding, Ubisoft. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the Grand Theft Auto 5 screenshots that came out this week.
that. Yes.
What do you got, Sean Fenn? I think
Let me Google it.
people really are interested in Grand Theft Auto 5 again, especially I think after Sleeping Dogs showed exactly how much people want. a game like that, an open world game, driving, shooting, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
I think people are hungering for a new GTA game. I think this game is gonna be huge when it comes out, and I think the game looks, excuse my language, fucking amazing.
Yeah, it really does.
Have
Oh,
a,
wow.
It really does.
Is that the game? I
Yeah.
just saw the screenshots now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really good.
Comment. What do you think, Chris? Are you looking at them right now? What's your
worry,
what's your
mate.
initial opinions, Chris, after
Amazing,
just seeing them?
mate. Look at the graphics on that. Look at the water. Reflection, it's good.
What do you think?
Really
do,
good
do you
water.
think, like, obviously we're not going to talk too much about
I'm
Sleeping
always
Dogs.
impressed by water in games.
Yeah.
You know, World of Warcraft up their game with the water. Oh, I just when I swam through it the first time, I was like, I'm a new man. And
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah.
So-
Can't wait to swim through the TA5 rivers.
You remember when you couldn't even swim in Grand Theft Auto, right?
Oh,
yeah.
You just drown
You touch
instantly.
water and you're dead.
So you think, so in your opinion, people are really looking forward to this game? I think Sleeping Dogs shows that. Pretty much just a sort of thing. There's nothing really to talk about with the screenshots. It's just I think the graphics. Do you think this would be a next gen game, graphics wise?
I think so for sure.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been developing this game for a very long time too. I mean, I know they came out with the expansion for it, you know, Gay Tony and whatever the fuck else it was, but at the same time, you know, they've had a lot of time to put into this game. And when is the release planned for anyway?
I'm not
There's no
entirely
release
sure.
date yet.
No.
It
has-
hasn't
no
been
release
it
yet.
hasn't
Nah,
been
this is just
announced
some-
yet, so most likely they're going to want to release it around the same time that the new next gen Xbox is coming out / PlayStation.
Yeah, I really
Which I
don't
know
think
is in the
so.
near future, so I think they're going to try and line it up with that, and they're probably developing it for those systems and those consoles, and for probably the new line of NVIDIA / AMD cards that are coming out. Not AMD.
Yep.
Yeah.
Either
the
that,
other
or
company's
it's
phone.
or it is playing on like a very high-end PC.
Which very possible.
Yeah, which is very possible because Rockstar have usually been pretty good about their PC games. So it could be that it's just really good high-res screens from a PC build. But yeah, even from me looking at it, like they're so crisp. Like it's hard to tell in some of the screenshots. They just kind of look like a normal game. But when you do see the one where the plane's flying over the river, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Like if you actually look. Yeah, no.
Kurt, you
cars
want to
are
link
sick.
those in the stream? Those screenshots?
I would try. Give me a second.
But yeah, if
So
you
people
look at
watching
the
can see.
if you look at the scene that does have the plane flying over the water, yeah, the plane looks awesome, the water looks awesome. But start
Here,
looking
I'll
at the
link 'em.
foliage. Start looking at the foliage and the rocks
Yeah, you
next
link 'em,
to
mate.
it. They're super
Yeah.
detailed.
They are
Like
too.
it
Whoa.
almost looks like the detail that you'd get out of like Battlefield 3, which obviously Battlefield 3 is running on Dice's Frostbite 2 engine, which is a next gen engine, which will be optimized for PlayStation 4 and the new Xbox. So I think that the more and more screenshots that we see, that yeah, it's going to be a next gen game. So I don't know.
Alright.
That's me.
Oh, if you compare it to the San Andreas graphics on that cliff, oh my god, it's terrible. But you look at this, it's like a new level.
Yeah.
Actually,
Next level gaming maneuver.
San Andreas
level.
was such an amazing
Oh my god.
Grand Theft
beautiful.
Auto. I actually downloaded it on my 360, and it was nowhere like I remembered it. Like you hit people and you slow down. It was cracking
Oh, really?
up. Yeah, in San Andreas, if you at least see, I don't remember if it was like that on the original Xbox. I don't think it was. Like you hit
Mm.
people and it's just like you hit a fucking like.
They had
Good
really
for a
good
high
car
speed bump.
physics in
Yeah.
San Andreas. I'm gonna. So from there, I'm just gonna talk about Guild War 2. Obviously, had its pre-release, or its early release yesterday. It's coming out in general public in a couple of days.
I think it's going to flop.
What are your thoughts on Guild Wars 2, and in general the thoughts of is this the way that future MMOs going? Future of MMOs are going more action-orientated combat, buy to play.
Well,
What do you think?
I think that I'm the only one out of all of us that actually played the beta. Is that
Yeah.
right?
I played it.
Yeah.
Most like I
I played
might
it
have,
for 2 hours.
Alright, well, so me and Kurt played it. I played it very early on in the beta weekends, so PvP wasn't implemented, a lot of things weren't in the game. From what I played, it was pretty fun. Yeah, so, I don't know. It'll be good to see. Like, I know that's going to be very popular.
Yeah.
I'll be
My-
1 sec.
I didn't like it so much. Myself, I just thought the combat was a little bit clunky the character movement wasn't as crisp as I wanted it to be, but the events look fun, I guess. I'm just a bit concerned about the lack. I guess it's sort of so PvP orientated, which it's a very
Oriented, Kurt. Noob.
oriented, whatever. It's very PvP oriented. I don't really like PvP, so it's not really a game that I think I like. I think it'll probably get a bunch of players just because of the fact it's sort of like
It's Guild
trying
Wars.
something new. It's Guild Wars. It's buy to play. It's always I grabbed a huge amount of buzz. I think it's sort of going the same way as MMOs are going to be. They come out and then such a huge backlash against most MMOs after they come out. Like you saw with Star Wars, Secret World's getting it a little bit.
Kurt,
Yeah,
by the way, advertise your stream as something other than Secret World for a little bit.
yeah, sure.
But yeah, continue, sorry.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm saying. What do you guys have to say
I have
about
no
it?
idea about Guild Wars out. Like, you know, I heard that you don't have like as like it looks very to World of Warcraft. You know, that's what I think. That's what
The
I've
thing
seen so
is-
far of it.
That I've heard about Guild Wars a lot is it's like, sure, it's cool for the first little bit. It gets boring quickly. You know, it kind of gets
Yeah.
old fairly fast. I think a lot of the buy-to-play games are going to end up like that because I don't think the developers have as much of a drive to push content out quickly. Simply because all their users have, you know, already paid for the game. It doesn't matter to them whether they keep the users playing or not. They've paid for the game and bought it. You know, they own it, they're going to play it, or they're not going to play it. And it's not going to really affect them too much besides them getting their friends into it. Whereas, you know, people who have a subscription-based MMO, which I know we touched on this earlier, but we'll go back to it for a second, you know, kind of have a drive to keep their player base paying the subscription, which is where those games will kind of take off.
Yeah. What I think like the lack for me, sort of the unique perspective. I really like high-end PvE content, like such as raiding, doing speed runs of crap. I just don't think this game really has a good PvE. I guess there's scenarios and stuff, but they sort of look
Well, I
as
was just
though
gonna take
first.
over with that, with the whole
Yeah.
speedrun thing.
Like I guess like if you really like PvP, it looks good, but I don't know. Like I don't like the fact that there's no. I don't like the fact there's no Trinity. They've taken away the Trinity. I know I may be alone in liking the Trinity, but I really like it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's any other thoughts about the game?
I don't know much about it, so maybe Shannon has something to say about it.
Yeah, I know that they're trying to take a very social.
Are you gonna play it, Shannon?
I know. I'll probably try it out, which means that I'll buy it, which means that yeah, I've basically gonna play the
You will
game.
play the game.
Hey, yeah,
Alright.
basically that's what it means because once you've bought it, you have it forever.
Like
That's true. It's not.
That's the
It's
best
not
draw
pay to
card.
play, so
obviously, I wish
Well,
more of us
yeah,
had played
that's
it a
the
bit
draw card
more
of the
to
game.
talk about it. I think maybe
Well-
those what are they called? Those random events might be
Yep.
pretty fun as you get along. Some of the stuff looks actually pretty fun.
It's funny because like I was trying to say before, they're working it to be like a lot more social, of like a social game, which sounds funny because yeah, MMOs are social games, but you know, every time that you come near a quest that's an event, you automatically are partied up with the people around you. You share the loot, you get loot based on what your class is, you know, all that sort of stuff. So they're really trying to work into bringing a whole community of players together, which I think is very cool. The thing that works against it in that respect, though, is you lose that sense of actually teaming up with friends, because like you don't have to. You just like run into like an area.
It's automatic, right?
It's automatic,
So
so you just run
there's
to an area.
no
You don't even have to
community.
say anything. You don't say, hey, we need one guy to do this. We need like Tank to do that. You just run in. You finish the quest, you run out, and that's it. You go on to the next one. But you know, in most MMOs, you have to find a team. And even though people are going to be like, oh, well, you know, finding a team is really annoying, in the end, playing with people and actually, you know, having to recruit them into your party or whatever, like, is actually half the fun. You know, sometimes you get
Sometimes.
some extremely bad players.
Sometimes
you know.
it's incredibly annoying though,
Yeah.
Shannon.
Sometimes it's incredibly annoying, takes forever, but, you know, in the end, like, the whole purpose of doing that is so you can find people, like, as guild mates, as friends in the game and stuff like that. If you're just doing it and running out and then just, like, automatically getting partied up with people, you lose that whole, I
Yeah.
suppose,
Quick fact:
worldly aspect.
I've become friends with a lot of people in sort of real life in WoW just by randomly meeting them in pugs. Sort of can't really. Not Chris wouldn't be
good
like.
friend.
I met Chris Mayer through Star. I met Chris through Star World of Warcraft, by the way. So
that's
I don't know, like I don't know
Yeah.
if you have the same sort of thing in Guild Wars. You may do. Maybe completely wrong. I don't know that much
You
about
will,
the game.
but the point that I was trying to make is that not going to be like it until you do get further on in the game. Like at the beginning of the game, you're going to be finding that it's very easy to level and all that sort of stuff, but you're not going to find people that you're going to level with or do things with later. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to come later, which is then going to create a hurdle of actually trying to break into the world. And I reckon a lot of players are going to be like, well, you know, it was really fun leveling, and I was able to talk to a lot of people while leveling, or you know, play with a lot of people while I was leveling. But when you get to the end game, if you've got no one that you're actually playing with, you haven't really made very many friends in the game, apart from your real life friends that are playing, you're gonna quit. You're
Yeah.
not gonna play it anymore.
Exactly.
That's one of the biggest things about MMOs is the social aspect. Like, you know, is wanting to continue staying there so you can talk to friends and whatever. But we'll see.
And one
It's
of
gonna
the
be
biggest-
successful regardless.
That is the biggest.
Yeah.
of MMOs.
Community is the
That's
biggest
what makes
thing.
MMOs.
Yeah, exactly.
And modding.
So it's
Modding
gonna be
makes
extremely
community.
successful. Like, I know that I've got close to 100 pre-orders in my store.
Are there mods
for Guild Wars.
for Guild Wars? Sorry.
I'm not that much
How
into
much
the
pre-orders
game.
do you have for Mr. Pandaria?
How many?
Nowhere
Two.
near as much.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Well, I think a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of people are ordering Mr. Pandaria online as well
Yeah.
because Blizzard announced
Yeah.
their digital copy that
It's
you
like
know, is-
$39.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's cheap as
So-
shit.
So,
Oh, really?
I'm
What
guessing-
pre-order
And
is
who the
that?
fuck? No, seriously though, anymore? Who wants to go to the store on the release night of World of Warcraft expansion
I did it once.
and sit in line for the expansion? I mean, if you can get it online, have it
I did that, that was
pre-downloaded,
fun.
and log in and play at 12 o'clock, wouldn't you choose that option?
Yeah, I
I
would.
think anyone who's competitive
Actually,
or
it's
wants to
different
be
in,
one of the
it's
top
different in
players
Australia
will
now,
choose
Chris.
that. Really?
In Australia, yeah, you actually, because what Blizzard do now is they do a simultaneous worldwide launch. So instead of us getting it at midnight, before you guys would, because we're the day ahead, we actually get it at 5 p.m. on the day. So people will come into the store, pick it up, install it, and then by 5 p.m. servers are open. So it's a lot better. But yeah, I can totally see your point. You know,
Alright.
Free
39
shit. You get posters. So.
Alright, good thoughts on
Well, I
Guild Wars
still
2,
got a
guys.
poster. I didn't even know him yet then.
Good,
No, I
good
mean, I
thought.
fully support going to release parties because they're fun as fuck. But the truth is, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're competitive and you're going for, you know, server first of a certain class or something, you're gonna want to,
Yeah.
you know, get the online and go for it that way.
Yeah, but
Alright.
who's really that nerd, right?
But if you trust me, a lot of World of Warcraft players
We're only
want
making
that
a
server
gaming
we're not
first
one
TV
of
internet.
them, so-
Alright, guys. Gonna move
Yeah,
on.
Shut up, hipster.
Gonna move on from the Guild Wars 2 thoughts. We're gonna move on to. That's pretty much our first section of the show done, where we talk about news events for the week and random thoughts on different subjects. Right now, we're just gonna review a game. We'll do one game per week, I think. This week, Darksiders 2.
Although I could do a review on Sleeping Dogs as well today.
Save it for next week, Shannon.
Next week,
Damn
Mark.
it. Damn it.
So we're just gonna do a review on Darksiders 2. Reason being, it's a good game. It's come out this week, and most of us have played it.
I've played it.
I've played it. I beat it. Shannon's beat it. Chris has watched me play it.
Yeah, watched
I mean,
some of
Wilsey's watched me play it. Chris, I don't know what he's done.
I watched it play a little
Yeah.
bit.
So we're gonna move on to that. Shannon was talking before, so I guess what are your impressions just from watching someone play? Either Chris or Wilsey. Take it away.
Yeah, it looks good actually. Like the graphics were really nice, sort of like a Devil May Cry sort of mixed with another game that is like Devil May Cry.
Oh,
But like
Devil May Cry 2.
like it sounded like you were having lots of fun and
It was very
you
wowish.
got stuck a lot and there's a little, but in the end it's looked good.
Yeah.
That's all I could really see from a stream.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true. Alright, well, I'm gonna say the combat, I think, was good. I think it could have been. It wasn't as good as like I would have hoped, but it was pretty good. I pretty
You had a big
much.
hammer once. That was
I had a
fun.
big hammer.
well,
I like the fact that I had a choice. I could either go like the full-on melee version, like my friend Liam did, or I decided to go like a really weird version for the game. I guess I went like a full ranged dealer, which is sort of weird in a melee game, but it actually worked really well. I had these ghouls that I got, which which taunted everything in the area. They did a mass amount of fire damage, and they exploded when they died. And
Maybe
then
we should
my gun.
we should do an episode next week where Kurt metas console games.
I've
where he
never
just
them.
like finds out like secret builds within the game and counters them against it.
But no,
That'll be for next time, guys.
but what I'm saying is that like I like the fact that you could do something like that. It
Yeah.
made it quite interesting. Dungeon-wise, I thought it was very Zelda-like.
Devil May Cry, basically.
Yeah,
Melee and range.
yeah.
It looked a lot better than Darksiders 1 character.
Yeah.
I played Darksiders 1 on my Xbox quite a lot, and
Exactly.
you know, it was fun, but it wasn't the greatest game. I felt like there was a lot of improvements they could have made, and I feel like after watching your stream, they made quite a few of those improvements in the second one.
Yeah, exactly. I think the dungeons were pretty good. A few times, the dungeons didn't sort of. I felt like they didn't exactly. You didn't know exactly what you were meant to be doing. Like I feel like it was very Zelda-like, but Zelda's a bit better at doing the dungeons.
Well, that's Zelda, and there's
yeah.
no one that'll ever be better than Zelda at doing dungeons.
But the dungeons were quite fun. I also liked going to Earth and having a rocket launcher and shooting down tons of enemies. That was really fun.
Sounds
I
like
didn't-
a fun game.
What I thought, like, it was meant to be about 30 hours long. I finished in about 15, but I skipped pretty much every single side quest. I don't really, I guess like a lot of people like side quests. I don't really enjoy doing any side quests in my games. I
Come
usually
on, Kurt,
just.
you can't tell me you played straight through Skyrim. You did a lot of side quests.
Alright, well, Skyrim's the only game where I didn't do the main quest. I just did all side
Oh my
quests.
god.
I've never finished a main quest on an Elder Scrolls game. Like, never. Didn't finish it on Morrowind, didn't finish it on Oblivion, didn't finish it on Skyrim. I didn't finish it on Morrowind because I was doing all the side quests and I actually glitched the game. I bugged the game out where I killed someone and I wasn't meant to kill, therefore I couldn't do the main quest anymore.
Oh my god.
Like, Morrowind was cool like
Yeah.
that. Skyrim, I got bored once I finished all the side quests. Like, the main quest bored me to death.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing the game as well. I'm probably, from what you guys have been telling me, over halfway. I find that, well, I'm not sure how it changes throughout the end to the end of the game, but I think I said it earlier where
User
there's
joined your
not
channel.
that much story to it. Yeah, I'm not finding that there's that much story at the moment. Like, I'm following it easy, but I don't know where it's going. Like, if it's just going where it's going, then it's going to be a pretty boring story, I would say. The combat is pretty fun. The puzzles get annoying. No, really, like, I don't find them hard at all. Like, I usually figure them out within, like, 1 to 2 minutes. Like, I don't find them hard. I find them annoying because there's just so many of them. Like, it's just puzzle after puzzle after puzzle
It
after
took
puzzle.
Kurt like an hour to find out that waterway.
Oh, I got
Well-
stuck there.
It didn't take me very long to do any of the puzzles. Like, I think the most that I was stuck on a puzzle was, like, max 10 minutes. But it was just, like, it's just that there's so many puzzles. At the beginning it was cool. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. But it's just, like, every single area, it's like I fight, and then, I fight and I just do puzzles. And I fight and then I just do puzzles. And the story's not there to hook me, but I'm still gonna finish it. I'll play it till I've finished it. You know, I'm enjoying it,
Well,
but I
you
wouldn't
gotta
say it's the
see
best
it
game
as well.
I've played.
What I really enjoyed though
I'm
was
playing on PS3. Yay.
the climbing was amazing. I thought, like, the climbing aspects.
That's really fun.
The climbing aspect's amazing. I thought the end boss, some of the bosses were pretty fun. Last boss wasn't that difficult. A few of the other bosses were, like, really cool though. I enjoyed them a lot.
I really like how they added loot system though. That was cool.
Yeah, it was.
Like, constantly like feeling like you're getting stronger. That was a really good idea. But yeah.
But like, as in case you're wondering, we're not professional reviewers. We're just gaming guys that play games, and we'll just tell you what we thought about them. So
Just wear a tie.
yeah, he just wears a
What are you
tie.
talking about? You mean that wasn't
I
obvious?
look professional, but
So come on, we're professional. But yeah, but
well, yeah, professional.
so shut the fuck up if you don't like our reviews. I'm just saying in the future. What else did I like about the game?
Fucking
Don't-
rogues, man.
Hello?
Whoa.
I was like waiting for you guys to like
Don't-
talking for like 5 minutes so I could say hi.
Rez, we're in a show right now.
User was moved out
Hey.
of your channel.
What's next on the old
Alright.
agenda?
Next on
What are we
agenda.
looking forward to?
What we're looking forward to in the future was just go to round table pretty much. Start off with Shannon, then go
I like
Chris,
the
then we'll see.
future.
Alright, okay, the next game that I'm really looking forward to, I'm gonna surprise everyone, is probably Medal of Honor. Yes. It's built on Frostbite 2, it's looking pretty cool, I love Battlefield, so it looks like it's gonna make Battlefield into like sort of like a more closer experience. So yeah, that's pretty cool. After then, oh sorry, just before then, Mr. Pandaria, I'm looking forward to as well.
Just gonna give out all the
Um,
answers, are you? Alright.
Well, we might have the same answers. We like the same sort of games.
Well, exactly the same, mate.
Yeah.
You might as well throw
After
in Black
then,
Ops.
yeah, Black Ops 2 is looking pretty cool. Apparently
Yeah.
they're going to do a good job on PC, so we'll have to wait and see for that one. Who knows? And then next year is probably my biggest year in for like at the beginning of next year. There's a lot of games coming out that I really want to play. Tomb Raider, Bioshock Infinite. Oh, Dishonored's coming out this year. If you guys haven't seen Dishonored, you need to look at some
I've looked
videos
it
of that
up.
game. That looks
Good.
sick. But yeah, next year, Bioshock Infinite, GTA 5, obviously, it'll come out next year. And I'm actually really anticipating the Wii U. There might be some cool stuff coming out.
Shannon,
on
I just
that,
want to
so-
ask you 1 second. Are you a 5-year-old girl?
Am I?
Yes, just wondering. No, I'm kidding.
Looking forward to Wii
Yeah,
U.
no, Wii is
I was
fun.
kidding, man. Settle down.
I enjoy Mario, and the thing is, like, you know, my girlfriend lives in Texas, so I can jump on the Wii and play some Mario Kart with her and her sisters, and it's
Yeah.
a blast.
So what else?
You get really drunk, and you have your mates over, and you play some drunk Mario Kart.
I love Mario Kart. So what else?
That's honestly
What
one of the
else?
best games.
So apart from the
Or
Wii,
Smash Bros.
Yeah,
Smash
or
Bros,
Smash
man.
Bros. You can play anything.
Oh my
Drunk
God, so
Wii
good.
is the absolute best.
so apart
If I was to open a gaming bar, I'd have to, you know, put plexiglass over every single
Yeah.
TV and, you know, but have Wii as the main console and get everyone wasted, and then they'll just be smashing.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
so apart from Wii U,
Best.
what
coming
what else
back,
are you looking
buddy.
forward to, Chris?
I'm not. I'll be busy
not
on
looking
that
forward to
day,
anything?
sorry.
I'm really looking forward to Soldiers of 2, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
mean
looks
Army
like a
of 2?
fantastic game. Army of 2. Why did I say Soldiers of 2? Whatever. I was thinking Soldiers because it's like a whatever. Anyway, Army of 2 is looking like a great game, and playing the first one was really entertaining as well. So the second one, you know, is looking pretty great. I liked the, you know, how that game is co-op,
bad.
and it's awesome. It's really fun to play with a buddy. You know, sit down on your Xbox and just mash some shit real quick, play through it. You know, it's a good drinking game too because you can, you know, play every death. You take a drink, take a shot. It's awesome.
All right.
You
On
died
to
a lot, didn't you?
on to you, we'll see. Stop your
Uh,
finger waving and get to your stories.
So, Mr. Pandaria obviously is like the main one because since I've started WoW, you know,
Yeah.
life has.
Life is
yeah.
halted to a
And,
complete stop.
Yeah, exactly. I'm back to that guy again. Gonna grow the mullet out probably. That's
You know,
happened
Chris,
Yeah.
I kind of have to agree with you. I'm more looking forward to Mist and Army. You know, I've been loving
Yeah.
RAF non-stop since my buddy came. I have like a bunch of extra 80s just from RAF, like double classes. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to New DayZ. Obviously, that should be. Hopefully, I'll get to play that with the new modules and stuff. And Black Ops 2, obviously, because
Nice.
that's. I'm.
It's
FPS
McDonald's of
lord.
gaming, man. McDonald's of gaming.
Alright.
I don't really keep up with like what's new and that. Just I just hear about it. I don't go on forums and shit and
Yeah.
research it all. I should though. It sounds like
All right.
now that I'm doing this.
Alright. Well, what I've been looking forward to, I have not been looking forward to any first-person shooter. Let's get that fucking straight. Because
I've never seen you play a first.
Because I don't play
before.
first-person shooters. What I have been looking forward to, Mr. Pandaria. Good game. It's gonna be good. Mr. Pandaria. Can't wait. Can't believe I just said
Yeah,
Torchlight 2. Really
Oh, yeah.
looking forward to Torchlight 2. I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh,
Borderlands
I forgot about
2.
that.
Looking
Oh,
forward to
Borderlands.
Borderlands.
That one. God damn it.
I'm looking forward to Dishonored, obviously. Looking forward to War Z. What's the, hopefully in the next couple of days, I'll be playing Walking Dead, number 3, which will be amazing. What else are we looking forward to? It's pretty much about what's that building one that they're building on the new engine? How they was like they're building a fort.
Are they building it on?
Fort-
Oh, Fortnite.
Fortnite.
That
Yeah.
game looks awesome.
From chat, yeah, maybe Elder Scrolls, probably not though. I just don't know that much about it. I was looking forward to Copernicus, and then that happened. Then that happened and everything. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the
Hey,
what games
wake
we're
up.
looking forward to. What the section's going to be right now is, in the future, hopefully we'll have some email questions to answer, and also we'll take some stream questions. So if anyone in the stream has any questions, I know there's not that many people in here at the moment, but if anyone has any, we'll answer some for a couple minutes. We got one from one of our kind streamers. Gotta wait. Alright, so let's read this really long question. Give me a second, guys. Well, there's a question. What do you feel on Activision? They have halted game development on the internal studio Radical Entertainment, created a prototype. They laid out the majority of the staff for considering selling. In the past couple of years, Activision has closed all these studios. Honestly, with a problem. How do you feel?
Wait, hold on. Vasky, you're also forgetting the developers of Modern Warfare 2. They also laid them off, and there was a huge lawsuit about that. I think that's one of the biggest developing teams that they've laid off, and one of the best as well.
So what do you guys feel about that?
It's crap. I used to play Call of Duty 2, the original Call of Duty 2, not Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 2 on PC. I played it semi-professionally, and I was in the top 10 teams in Australia. Probably top 50 players in Australia as well. So Call of Duty was like something that I played religiously. I played it every night. I was always in team. I was in a team, and we were playing like every night. Had weekly games and all that sort of stuff. So like Activision at that time were, especially Infinity Ward, were like my favorite developers. So to see how much the company has tried to monopolize something that obviously was very successful in the first place, but they want to make more successful is depressing. I've watched Call of Duty turn to something that's kind of rubbish, especially with Modern Warfare 3. Black Ops was okay, but yeah,
Modern Warfare 3 was pretty shit.
Modern Warfare 3 was crap. Black Ops 2 looks to be redeeming itself, but it's a different development team.
It's Treyarch.
Infinity Ward were hit by the layoffs, and there's a lot of stuff. Like if you actually read into the whole the developments of that whole sort of saga of Western Zampella, you can really see that Activision didn't want those guys in their team anymore. There's planting emails, there's going through like personal documents, there's everything. It's a pretty crazy thing. So it annoys me. It makes me sad because like I said, Call of Duty was my #1 game. That's what I played. I play that every day. So yeah, it sucks. But Black Ops 2 hopefully might be good. Skyland, another game that they're making that's ridiculously popular. They were stupid to let go of Sleeping Dogs because that was an amazing game. That's another thing that they sucked on there, but yeah, they might be able to redeem themselves with all in all, though, I'm kind of annoyed.
I don't think Activision's in trouble, is what I'm saying.
Oh no, they're not in trouble financially.
Yeah.
No, they can still make money, man. Like Modern Warfare 3 still made over $1 billion in 6 days, I think it was, or 16 days.
There's a lot of financial trouble. No matter
totally.
what, a lot of people don't care. I mean, I for one bought the game. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I didn't buy the game. I pre-ordered it a long time ago because I was honestly expecting it to be a lot better than it was. And I think there was a part of me that was hoping it was going to be a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Because I had an expectation of it being bad, just from the beginning. However, I was hoping, okay, Infinity Ward developed the first half of the game. I think it was Sledgehammer Gaming that developed the second half. And I'm fairly sure that they developed the multiplayer and Infinity Ward did the campaign, correct?
Yeah.
And I even feel like the campaign was nowhere near as good as it could have been. But I think there was a lot going on with Infinity Ward and Activision at the time that probably held them back from developing a game to its full potential. And I think a lot of these huge parent companies are kind of letting, I guess, the rest of us gamers down by not supporting their smaller development teams to the full extent that they could be supporting them.
All right, guys. All right, so let's probably move on from our question section. Don't really have many questions since it's our first show. Just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on to like our final thoughts for the podcast in general. Pretty much all the talk's been done. Thank you anyone who's watching for the tuning into our first podcast. It's been pretty fun and amazing. I've enjoyed it quite a lot. We'll be doing this.
A lot, I don't know.
We'll be doing this every every week, same time pretty much on Sundays. Uh, whatever time it is for you in whatever part of the world you're in right now. Also, it'll be going up on iTunes and YouTube on the Scotch Gaming, obviously. You can reach. What I'd like is anyone's listening, email us some questions at scotchgaming@hotmail.com. We'll answer them next week, whatever you have. Also follow me on Twitter at Krazak4. That'll be for this as well. Final thoughts from you guys.
It's a good experience because I don't know much about like what new games and all that, and I don't really keep up to date. So this will be good to help me.
My
Yeah.
final thought is,
Yep.
drink scotch and game on.
Shannon.
That's a catchphrase.
Is
by the
there
way.
also is there anything you want to
alright.
promote as well at the
Sounds
end?
good.
Sign-offs, your Twitter account,
Yeah.
whatever. Do that as well.
So yeah, it's been a pretty good experience today. It's been fun. Hopefully we're gonna get more than 8 viewers, I think. But yeah, like Kurt said, we'll be here every week. We'll be answering questions. We'll be delivering the hot topics. I'm always out there selling games, so I know what's popular. I know what's real at the time. So I think that I bring something really good as a retail perspective, as well as I know what people want. So I hope that I can help out. And yeah,
All right.
Chris said, drink scotch and game on.
Is there anything else you guys want to promote, like your Twitters or certain bands or anything?
But
Oh, certain bands, huh? Yeah, so everyone that doesn't know, which probably you don't, because we're not popular or famous, me and Chris Wilson are in a hardcore band, so that's hardcore, like, rock music, not hardcore rap or hardcore trance, although it'd be pretty cool if we were a trance band. But yeah, we're a band called My Favorite Episode. We're on Facebook if you guys want to check us out, especially if you're from Australia. It would really help out if you come to our gigs and like our page, whatever. Yeah.
Alright, thanks guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and link the band in the stream real quick. So for all of you interested, there's their link to their Facebook page. Go ahead and check them out anytime you want. They have some pretty sick music too.
Maybe one day.
Alright guys, and do you want to do a little sign off, Chris, for this one with your guitar?
Make sure you're on continuous this match.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it. Scotch gaming. We talk about things all gaming related.
And
Yeah.
thank you for watching the show. Tune in next week at the same time. Reach me on Twitter at